Hey, Rambo here. Um, Here it is, Monday night. With nothing to do because it's Monday night and the bars are closing and it's 12:45, and I'm here to shoot. And who better to shoot on than my favorite subject, Vinnie Vincent? All right. Here's what it's coming down to. That very famous question, did Vinnie Vincent save Kiss? I have my own pages, and I have answered that. Now I am going to reword the question. Could Kiss have survived without Vinnie Vincent? Alright. Now, before I get to that, I just want to put something out about everybody, people that use Facebook. It's like you, I and others, we post something in the form of a question, and people just hit the like button. Well, okay. What are you saying? You like my question? Okay, fine, that's cool. But can you answer it also? I mean, if you don't know what to say, just say I'm thoughtless. I don't know, or I don't know. That would be really cool. I mean, I just don't get it when I post something in the form of a question and people just hit the like button. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Now, alright. I'm going to ask the question again. Do you think Kiss would have survived without Vinnie Vincent? I drink more pink Kool-Aid than probably the only person I'm Facebook friends with and talk Kiss with is Christina Green, and she probably has a refrigerator full of pink Kool-Aid. My refrigerator is half full of pink Kool-Aid, and now I say 1/3 full of pink Kool-Aid, a third full of blue Kool-Aid, and a third full of green Kool-Aid, with the bottom shelf where you put your A1 sauce and stuff. Yeah, that's got purple Kool-Aid there. So whatever. Yeah. Let's go back a little bit. I've done some research, and Vinnie Vincent was playing music and recording since he was a teenager. He's recorded for R&B bands. I'm sorry. Yeah, written songs for R&B bands. Actually, he has been recording since 13, 14 years old. He wasn't famous. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't like in anything big or anything like that. I mean, before Kiss, I mean, what's the biggest thing he did? I mean, yeah, there are people that like the Rascals, and he did Treasure. They made one album and nobody cared. He played with Dan Hartman, and what I find really interesting about that is he played beside G.E. Smith, who later on became the leader of the Saturday Night Live band, G.E. Smith and the Saturday Night Live band. But this is my opinion on how Kiss got saved. It wasn't by one person. So, yes, Vinnie Vincent did save Kiss, but not on his own. It took a group effort. In fact, there are a lot of fans out there, and you know who you are, who actually think the reason Creatures of the Night album was such a great album was because of Eric Carr's drumming. Yes, that is the first album. I mean, yeah, his debut album was The Elder, but he could only play a style that that fit the music. Kiss had to make a decision, and they needed help. So yeah, they decided to become a heavy metal band. They something. It wouldn't have been bad if Kiss actually may have changed their name to Joneses, because they're always trying to like keep up with everything that's going on, and it's like people who have a neighbor that have the nice Rolex watch and nice cars, and they're keeping up with the Joneses. It's like maybe Kiss should have just changed their names to the Joneses once they did lick it up. It's a joke. Don't get mad at me for it. I kid. Okay, but yeah. At that time, Iron Maiden was big. Dio was big. Ozzy Osbourne had Randy Savage. He died shortly around that time. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of British metal coming out, and MTV was big, and basically, here's what happened. Adam Mitchell introduced Vinnie to Gene Simmons, and Vinnie and Gene hit it off really good. They wrote songs together, and even though Gene, Vinnie was actually the first person to ask to replace Hayes, and they said, we can't have you in this band because of your height. But what we will do for you is Casablanca and Aucoin management has another band called New England who just lost their front man. So Gene Simmons got Vinnie that gig. Vinnie was Gene's fine, okay? And I'm going to get to that later, Paul didn't like Vinnie very much. And yes, I'm going to get to that later. So, Gene gets him in New England to replace the front man. And the plan, and New England liked Vinnie's songs. They liked his music. And so much that they didn't want to be New England anymore, and they wanted to be a new band, and they changed the name to Warrior. The demos, even though the demos sound good, the plan was for them to be a 5-piece with Robert Fleischman on lead vocals. Like I said, there were a lot of guitarists to audition for that gig and didn't want it. In fact, I'm not going to mention the podcast because I'm going to post this on a Facebook group where the creator of the group doesn't like this podcast very much, and you know what I'm talking about. But Punky Meadow from Angel turned down the gig, and apparently Gene and Paul were very jaded, like, how dare anybody, say no to us. There were guitarists that auditioned and they didn't want the gig. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if Paul and Gene were acting like jerks. the closest one that, from what I understand, the one that came closest was the Bon Jovi guitarist. What the fuck's his name? Richie Sambora. I heard he came the closest, but didn't want to play that style of music. And from what I understand, Paul or Gene, or both of them, got him into Bon Jovi. Cool. Alright. So, like one of my best friends says, Vinny got the job by default. Yeah, probably. Because they said no to him once, and after so many auditions, it came down to crunch time, and Gene pretty much said, "Vinny, would you like to? I've reconsidered. We have reconsidered. Actually, I don't think Paul reconsidered. I think Gene talked him into it, letting it happen, and pretty much went to Vinny and said, we reconsidered, and we would like you to be our lead guitarist and help us write songs." Vinny had a choice. Robert Fleischman, when Vinny and Robert Fleischman were getting along, Robert Fleischman said, "Hey man, go do it, man. This is almost like having an opportunity to be with, play with Beatles. I mean, go join Kiss, man. You just had twin girls. Do it." So he did, and yes, Paul Stanley gave him the name Vinnie Vincent and gave him the Aqua Warrior makeup. So Vinny actually not only just contributed to being the lead guitarist on that album, which we're supposed to believe it's Ace. Now that time is going on and Kiss fans have gotten smarter, we all know it's not. And it wasn't all Vinny. Vinny didn't play guitar on all the songs, but whether he wrote, played, or did both, he was involved in 7 out of 9 songs on Creatures in the Night. And the guitar and the lead guitar, the guitar on that album was fucking outstanding. Now, getting back to saying I don't think that Vinnie Vincent saved Kiss alone, I'm going to explain that. First of all, he wasn't even a member of the band when they were going to do Creatures of the Night. So it was Paul and Gene's direction to become a heavy metal band. Because Kiss was not a heavy metal band. Kiss was Kiss. Then they did some disco and rock on Dynasty. An album that a lot of people bought, but lost a lot of fans. But also gained a lot of fans. Even though people who like the song "I Was Made for Loving You" don't even know it's Kiss. Then they wrote a pop album, Unmasked. I like it. I love Unmasked, especially Naked City. One of Gene's favorite, best songs. He should be playing them on the stage. He shouldn't be playing Cold Gin written by Ace, because it's not Gene's song. He should be replacing that with Naked City. Okay, anyway. And then came The Elder, and I love The Elder. A lot of Kiss fans love The Elder. A lot of Kiss fans hate The Elder, and it left a very large amount of disappointing Kiss fans. So, as one of my friends likes to argue and say that that Creatures of the Night was the lowest selling album ever. Look what albums it followed. Something, I never even knew Creatures of the Night existed until I bought Animalized. I mean, I stopped listening to Kiss after Unmasked to play with my Star Wars figures. I just wasn't listening to music at all. Then MTV came out, and what a good time for Kiss to, promote themselves and take their makeup off, even though they didn't even know. A lot of them didn't even know Eric Carr existed. Some did, some didn't. But Christ, only 98%. The only way people knew Vinnie Vincent was in the band was because they went and saw his concert, and they didn't even know he was really a member of the band. He didn't get a Porsche like Eric Carr did. First of all, we're supposed to believe that Ace is on this record, and my friend saying, if Vinnie Vincent was really something else, this album would have tanked. The reason why people didn't buy that album so much was because the disappointment in The Elder and Unmasked, and people gave up on Kiss. Yes, taking the makeup off was the saving grace for saving Kiss. And then when they go buy Lick It Up, in my case, I told the story about my mother, my parents buying me Lick It Up, and so the next album that came out was Animalized. When I went to Sam Goody's, I went through looking through the Kiss records and looking for Animalized. I discovered that Kiss had a album called Creatures of the Night, which I never knew about because, like I said, I was playing with my Star Wars figures at the time. I knew about The Elder, but that's when I lost interest. That's what I'm saying. So, at the time, we're all supposed to believe that's Ace playing. He was on a video. He was on a music video. I mean, he did shots. I wasn't even 10 years old at the time. I wouldn't have known the difference. Now we're all smarter, and we know that Ace Frehley quit the band, and they begged him to do the shots, do the video, and credited him as a member of the band. When it was Vinnie playing at least, 80% of the songs, 75 to 90% of the songs. But they didn't want people to know that. And when they went to promote the tour, they wouldn't even say that Vinnie was a new member, although he was hired. Paul Stanley gave him the I hate saying Aqua Warrior, Egyptian Warrior, or Wizard, whatever. I mean, God, he's the only member of Kiss that has three fucking names. I mean, for his character. They may just call him the generic, because it's almost like that's. His character was generic. I don't know. They just said, "Oh, let's make a generic Kiss character out of this guy and call him Vinnie Vincent because we don't want people to know he's Italian." So anyway, I mean, when it came down to the tour, they didn't even admit that he was a member of the band. They said that due to Ace Frehley being in a car accident, and yes, Ace was in a lot of car accidents, but I don't remember him being in a car accident around that time. But I do remember, but I have done the research and know that he quit the band around that time. So they're saying that Vinnie Vincent is a fill-in for Ace, that Ace is not going to be on the tour. Alright, so to answer my friend's question, why the album and tour didn't do too well is because of the 3 albums before it. People gave up on Kiss. And you're right about, not taking the makeup off is what, you know, saved the band. You know, but musically, you know, Vinnie Vincent and Eric Carr, you know, they made a difference in the music. It wasn't their direction. It wasn't it definitely wasn't Vinnie Vincent's direction, because he wasn't even in the band yet. He was hired to write some songs and be a ghost guitarist, just like Anton Fig did for Peter Criss. But the thing was, damn, what the hell was I gonna say? Yeah, okay. Yeah, of course it wasn't Vinnie Vincent's direction. It was Paul and Gene's direction to become harder, more metal. You know what I mean? And Eric Carr wanted it. He was about it too. In Paul's book, you know, he mentions that he played a Metallica tape, which was probably a demo at the time because it was 1982. He played it for Paul and Gene. So Eric Carr was all about it. So that's another person that saved Kiss, Eric Carr. There are a lot of fans. I've watched many podcasts, and there are a lot of fans and critics that say Eric Carr made that album. Eric Carr's drumming. Actually, I'm going to give Eric Carr more credit for that album than I am going to for Vinnie Vincent, because Vinnie Vincent only wrote 3 songs on that album. Yeah, a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, Vinnie wrote all these." Yeah. But by the way, I'm a very fair and non-partial person, and I like to call it straight down the middle. And I'm gonna tell you that Vinnie only wrote 3 songs on that album. I Love It Loud, which was actually his song to begin with. He gave that song to Kiss. Killers and I Still Love You, which he didn't play on, which is kind of, it sounded like Vinnie actually, but that's not him. If you know the funny story about the Creatures of the Night song, there were no guitarists of the official band, and even if Vinnie were to play on that song, he wasn't an official member of the band. There were like 3 other guys that played bass, rhythm, and guitar. The only member of Kiss that played an instrument on that song was Eric Carr. Paul sang. Okay, I'll give him that. But you know, they're on the song "Creatures of the Night" itself. But okay, I can name. Okay, Steve Ferris played lead guitar. Adam Mitchell played rhythm guitar. I forget who the bass player was. That's another person that helped save Kiss. Adam Mitchell. Now, I mean, you know, Paul and Gene, they needed help, you know, and you know, even the Canadian pop star Bryan Adams, he covered a song on that album. I mean, so in other words, yes, I'm going to say that Vinnie Vincent saved Kiss, but he didn't do it on his own. You know, it was a group. It took a group effort. A lot of people had to be in play to save this band. One person, one man, could not do it on his own, and I'm gonna say yeah, yes, I believe Vinnie Vincent played a part in saving Kiss, but just not on his own. That's all. I mean, it's. I think my opinion is better than all those who say no, not at all. You know, I mean, no, he did. His contributions saved Kiss, and so did Eric Carr's, so did Adam Mitchell's, and if it wasn't, you know, for the direction that Paul and G wanted to go in, Kiss may have been done. You know, Um, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to bring up. You know, alright, I mean, so yeah. To reword the question, as opposed to saying, did Vinnie Vincent save Kiss? Ask yourself this: would Kiss have survived without Vinnie Vincent? And I'm Rambo. I love to shoot. Good night.